So the journey towards the ANC's 55th National Conference continues. That conference is set to take place in December at Nasrec between the 16th and the 20th of December. Where's the process now, you ask? They're still at nominations, very much still right there where you left them, at nominations. Nominations were meant to wrap on the 2nd of October. As you can tell, we're well past that, and I'm saying nominations are continuing. So they've asked for an extension because of multiple issues that are holding back the process. So on the one hand, load shedding, and I'm a little bit happy. It's a little bit of poetic justice that the ANC government, the party of the day that's in charge, is also struggling because of load shedding. If they can't give us electricity, why do they deserve electricity to do their business? So they've got a problem with load shedding. They have a problem with staffers. The staff members that journalists have been reporting on about not getting their salaries on time, they've been on multiple go-slows. That's affecting this process. They've got a new membership system and new scanners. People talk about QR codes. People talk about the system jamming. One of the issues that's been raised by the ANC is that it needs software upgrades. It's a little bit funny, but it needs software upgrades. That's why it's being held back. As well as the secretaries, the new branch secretaries, well, they're new and they're not necessarily aware of what to do. So they have to try and continuously educate them in terms of what's needed by the party in order to do the job. So there are multiple delays. As it stands now, the nomination period is due to end on the 25th of October. Will that be the case? I don't know. Maybe that weekend I'll come back and say to you, oh, there's another extension. But as far as that process towards December is concerned, it's still stuck on nominations. And it's hard to read nominations because people are following branches everywhere. But these are over 3,000 branches across the country. So people are trying to keep up with what each and every branch is doing. Branch meetings don't necessarily sit when they're meant to. I spoke about load shedding. So one day they're meant to sit, there's load shedding, they call the meeting off, or they don't call it. There's multiple reasons why certain things are not happening and why branch meetings aren't taking place. So all those issues affect this particular process. But you are hearing different people saying different names are coming up if you're interested in the leadership race. On Sunday, I went to Shawela in Soweto, where the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, went to attend his BGM. It was a little bit odd because you know that he's not necessarily there every day. It's not that he participates in the branch life every day. Not what they say they should do. I mean, this is the president, I suppose, of the country. But anyway, he went to this meeting where he was nominated to return for a second term. Very interesting outcomes where people like Pile Mabe got the nod to become Treasurer General. You've got Nomvula Mokonyane also getting the nod to become the Deputy Secretary General. So it's very interesting what branches of the ANC want, what the process takes away from members in those moments. At least what the media got to see is they don't deliberate on why. You don't get to give a reason why particular individuals are fit for purpose. You put your hands up and that's how it plays itself out. But anyway, so that happened. What was interesting for me is the conversation the journalist had with Ramaphosa afterwards. I asked him if he felt he led with the necessary courage throughout his tenure as leader of the ANC and ultimately the president of the country. Remember, this is his path towards being head of state. It was through the ANC and its branches, its processes that made him the head of state ultimately. And he was like no other president has had the challenges that he's had. You might have had the most challenges, but what really matters, and I hope ANC members are thinking about it, is what does one do that when confronted with the kind of challenges that he had? I give it to him. No other leader had a random pandemic coming along, COVID-19. Then you've got floods, then you've got the economy in the state. But what did you then do, oh Mr. Indecisive President? It's those kind of questions that Ramaphosa needs to be able to answer. And I think ANC members need to be thinking of as they nominate leaders, including Ramaphosa. But there's other things that have happened. Like a day in politics is a heck of a lot. The only thing I say is predictable in this space is that it's an unpredictable space, right? So in Johannesburg, there's a new mayor. Mpho Phalatse, Dr. Mpho Phalatse has been removed. Dada Morero of the ANC regional chairperson, is now the mayor of Johannesburg. Now, when that happened, everybody started looking around, looking at Ekurhuleni, what's going to happen there. That's a minority government that's in charge. Mokhala City, also a coalition. And then you look at Tshwane, also a coalition government. People wondering what will happen and what does this mean? As a resident of Gauteng, a part of me thinks maybe, because we couldn't vote for any of these people in 2019, I think rightfully so. So imagine if ANC kept Johannesburg and the DA kept Tshwane, and maybe Ekurhuleni goes to the Red Berets. Does that mean that they'll compete for services? They'll compete for our attention because 2024 is around the corner. Does that then mean that we as residents will finally have services? Because now they'll not be fighting over who has control over the trough, who's in charge of the resources, the budgets, but maybe who impresses the electorate more. Is that what we need? But anyway, don't disregard the change of guard in Gauteng either. So with Panyaza Lesufi rising comes a new cabinet, and with that, don't disregard that with a new cabinet comes a whole set of new faces, because I think some people will be new, and that is a change, a shift in how the patronage network works. And that's why you must always think about the ANC National Conference in these moments as they unfold. But most importantly, you must always think of 2024 as a citizen and about whether or not these people are fit for purpose.